the guide of today, Mr. Arpit Thakur, faculty from Center for Distance and Online Education, who will be telling us the importance as well as how to make a better resume in today's competitive world. And why it is so important. Reason, nowadays your resumes are not being shortlisted by human beings, by even AI powered tools, which shortlist your resume only in 5 to 7 seconds. And that is on the various parameters. Many a time we apply for a particular job, we did not even get a call for the same. Reason, we are missing out some things. So today, Arpit sir will be telling us about that how we can make a better resume which can fetch us at least in their, we are in the recruiters list, probable list of the persons. So not taking much of the time between you and Arpit sir, I will hand over the baton to Arpit sir, and he will be telling us the career hacking, how you can become job ready. So over to you, Arpit sir.
Thank you, Ajay sir. And very rightly said, today we need some extra nudge, extra, we have to show certain extra content to, move over from other people, because the time has become more competitive. And as sir was suggesting, we need to, bypass certain, not just the people, we need to, compete with the machines also in today's world. So in today's session, we will be talking about all of these things. Okay, let me share my screen first. All right. So before starting this session, I would like to, guide you or, tell something about how this channel of mode of communication would be. Like, I will be delivering certain theoretical points regarding my today's topic. I would be asking some feedbacks in between during my presentation, and during the feedback, like if just to engage you people also with the presentation or with the topic, I would be asking the questions to the people, to the participants. And I would be very pleased if, at that moment when I'm asking the question, at that moment, if you can unmute yourself and, respond to the question or give your feedbacks. So that will make make our session more effective, because, the session is as effective as the listeners are. All right. So let us begin with this session. You can see that the session which I have, the name I have planned is career hacking, becoming job ready. So how do you become job ready? That is what we are going to talk about here. And when we are talking about career, a career has a career cycle, right? Now, when we talk about career cycle, it could be different in terms of perception of the people. Different people could have different perception about career cycle. So again, I'll straight away start with, putting a thought in front of you, or asking your thoughts about what do you understand by career cycle. If you hear this term, you are seeing this term in front of you, career cycle. So what do you understand by career cycle? What picture you can draw about this term, career cycle? Anyone could unmute and, respond to this thing. As per their perception, what is a career cycle? From where a career should start and from where it should head. So you can explain it in these aspects. Anyone would like to comment? Yes, anyone? Sarfraz, Ayush, Rajat, Shivam. No one? Let me just give you some hint about it. Let's say, when you talk about a career cycle, it could start with you getting an admission to an institute. Fine, getting admission to a particular course, like you have got admission in LPU for your MCA program, right? It could be the first step of a career cycle, right? Somebody has responded to the chat. Career cycle means, in my word, that we can handle the position of our designations. Okay, fine. This could be one of the perception, right? So when we are talking about a cycle should start from a starting point and it should head towards a particular point. So I can say a career cycle could start from a point. And according to my perception, it could be, different for your perception. As per my perception, it could start by getting admission to an institute for a particular course. Fine. Now, after getting admission, you work hard, you complete your degree as per, I can say. Yes, getting admission and run until we get a job. Very good. So this could be one of the, you can say, perception. So I can say, yes, getting admission and working hard to complete the degree, right? You complete your degree, you complete your formal education, and you get a degree. And obviously, as suggested in one of the answers, now after completing the degree, getting on board with the job, right? You find a recruiter, you get a job in that company, and you start working. So this could conclude the career cycle, right? Everyone, yes or no? This could complete a complete career cycle, right? Yes, no? Do you agree? This could complete a career cycle? Are you saying yes? Anyone else? See, I was talking, even Ajay sir in the introduction was telling about that how competitive the world is now. And to stand in the competitive world, you should be more proactive. And by being proactive, that means you should more active, you should participate, you should think beyond the regular things. Okay, you should be more than ordinary. So when we are spending some time here, when we are letting other things of your Sunday, and you are here to be in the in this session, so please participate. Okay, so yes, a career cycle could be like this. Okay, but my thing is, see, is it so easy? Like, you have taken the admission, you have completed the degree, and you have got the job. Is it so easy, or we are missing out on something? Yes, the career cycle, is it so easy? Anyone? Most of you are also working, so you must have faced something more than what I have shown here in the career cycle. What we are missing out, if not? Yes, anyone? Okay. No, we have to learn every day, even after we got a job. Very good. We have to still learn new things, cope up. Yes, keep learning, upgrading. Yes, fine, very good. Anyone want to say anything? Yes. See, one of the answers as suggested, yes, obviously we need to keep upgrading ourselves. Missing the preparation to crack the job, bang on. Ayush Soni has said, there is some process which we must perform to get a job. So after completing the degree and after getting on board with a job, we need to go through a particular process, particular preparation. So what is that preparation that we can easily go through? Like, you have completed your degree. Let's for example, you have completed your MCA degree. Now what you will do in the very next step after completing the degree, you will list out the employers who are hiring MCA people. When you will list out the employers, and then you will visit the employers information, then that to check that what roles are available for the employer. Okay, is the role suitable to your profile, to your degree, to your education, to your skills? Fine. You scan all of those things, and once you find a particular suitable role, you apply for those roles. Okay, and after applying for those roles, if you got lucky, or if your profile is effective, okay, if you are lucky, you could be called for interview. And when you are in the interview, and if you are if the employer find you effective enough, they can give you a job, and then you can start onboarding with a job, right? So this is what the filler between completing the degree and getting on board with a job. You have to prepare for the job. Okay, prepare for everything. Fine. So how do you prepare it? Okay, how do you prepare it? You list out the employers, you apply for the job, you appear into the interview, right? So does this complete the career cycle, or we are still missing out on anything? Fine. See, still we are filling the blanks, getting admission, completing the degree, and getting on board with a job. And we understood that we need to do something after completing the degree and getting the job. That means we need to prepare for the job. Now, when you prepare for the job, you perform these steps. But yes, I could say when you apply for a job to employer in a role, you must build a profile. You must sell yourself as a brand. You just, you project yourself as a brand. Then only the companies will come to you that yes, you have something which a company needs. Fine. You have to develop yourself as a brand. Fine. Now, how can you develop yourself as a brand if you just project a effective profile to the company? Your profile. Fine. And how do you build a profile? There could be different methods. There are different channels for building a profile. Starting with very conventional way, you start building your resumes. Fine. You build your resume, you send your resume to the companies, and the companies will scan your resume and they will find whether you're suitable or not. So one of the way to project your brand would be through a resume, right? Okay. Somebody is asking, it doesn't matter if you are the best candidate if you don't know how to. Very good, Ayush. Ayush is one of the, I think, one of the proactive member of this session, and he's bang on with his answers that projecting yourself, you're selling yourself as a effective brand. You go to the market and you want to purchase something. Suppose you want to, if you want to eat pizza, fine. There are so many brands in the market to, to sell pizza to you. But still you choose, you go to a particular brand because you have the trust, you see their qualities. Fine. They have projected themselves in that way. So you are just like a brand to a company, and your brand should sell like anything. So your profile should be developed as per the requirement, as per the brand's requirements. Fine. So how to develop a profile, that is what we are talking about. You should develop just like the most conventional way. Old is gold, right? So the conventional way is resume building.
तिरुपति वाला जात बाटा है वाह तिरुपति वाला जात बाटा ये आप लोग कहाँ जा रहे हैं?
Anjali, do you want to say anything? Anjali Sharma? Okay, no problem. So you build your resume. Even nowadays, there are so many social media platforms which will let you build your profile, and it will let you connect with the employers, connect with your peer group, connect with other people, so they can help you, in getting a designated place as per your suitable skills. Fine. So you develop your profile on LinkedIn, you develop your portfolios. For developers, for computer programmers, there are GitHub for say, fine, to showcase your profile, your portfolios. Fine. So you have so many channels to showcase yourself as a brand, right? So that is what we need to work out in the very initial phase of getting a job. For getting a job, you have to prepare, as Ayush has said. And for preparing for the job, for the first step, the stepping stone is to develop yourself as a brand. And for developing yourself as a brand, you just have to do certain initial, fulfillments. You build your resume, you build your LinkedIn profile, you build other portfolios, fine, and you showcase them. Now, while building your resume or LinkedIn profile or other social media platforms, you have to take care of very certain minute things, which will make you stand out, which will make you different from the crowd. Because, there are so many people applying for the same position. How will an employer reach to you? Obviously through your profile, but all of them are carrying a profile. Okay, all the people in the crowd are carrying a profile. So why your profile should be screened out? Why your profile should be selected? Fine. That is what you have to take care by caring of the minute things. Fine. So through this interaction session, our purpose, LP Online purpose, is to make you aware about the latest, intricacies that what employers see, what is their, methods to, select people by checking their profile. That is what we are going to try to convey it to you, and we will sort your attention also, that how better you are getting these things. Okay, there could be doubts, there could be questions. Okay, you can ask those questions, because more the questions you will ask or more the doubts will be clear, better will be your profile, better will be your position in the market, right? So we'll start with telling you about how do you build a profile of yourself, how do you showcase yourself as a brand through this interaction session, right? But before straight away starting this session, I would like to draw a gray picture in front of you. Okay, the job application market is neither a black situation or a white situation. There is always a gray area. Fine. So what is that gray area? You should first understand the depth. Fine. Like if you go for applying for a job, what you are going to be facing through this stat over here, you can understand that in this graph you can see that x-axis is containing a number of job applications sent, and y-axis will tell you the probability of receiving a job offer. So you can clearly see that if an applicant is sending between 11 to 80 applications, then his probability is somewhere roughly about 60%, not even 100%. Fine. So you have to see, people are sending so many applications to get a job, and even not with 100% probability. Okay, you can see how competitive the market is. Okay, you can see certain more figures. A job application, a job seeker spend nearly 10 hours every week for searching the job, for applying the job. Fine. So this is a whole lot of time to be spent to get a job. You can see some more figures, like 61.7% is the chance to get interview after 10 applications. You send 10 applications, then your chance to get an interview call is just 61.7%, not even 100%. Okay, and after applying 3 interviews, the probability of getting you a job is just 51%. So you can see 3 interviews, 10 applications. So for 3 interviews, you have to apply for 30 applications. Okay, and for getting an interview, how many applications you have to go through? Okay, nearly 21 to 80 applications you have to send to get a probability of roughly 31% to get a job. So you can see the gray area. It's not that easy for an applicant to apply for a job or to get a job. You should have a knack while sending a job application. What is that knack? How will you stand out? You should not be in this average statistics. You should stand out of this average statistics. Fine. So how will you, overcome all these challenges that we are going to talk about here? As in the very introduction part, Ajay sir has said that this is the world of automation. Now, companies do not hire people to hire other people. They have tools, they have software packages. They call it application tracking system nowadays. They have AI systems. Those systems are employed by the employers to check your profiles, check your resume. We will see. Sarfraz is asking question, what is AI logic for CV selection? So in a very short time, I'll be talking about everything, that how these application tracking system are scanning your CVs, how you can bypass them, how you can master them. So everything we are going to talk about in this session. So have patience. So since I was talking about this is the world of automation, and companies are not putting effort to hire people to hire other people. They have the software packages. And you will be amazed to know that almost 50 to 70% of resumes are weeded out by the system itself. Even you can see that 70% of the applications are not even going through the eyes of a person who is checking who is evaluating you. Okay, your resumes are not reaching there itself. You're getting weeded out in the very first step itself. Fine. So it's not easy. So through this session, I will just put you through that. How will you master this world of automation? How will you master the application tracking system or AI systems so that your resume will stand out? Okay. Now, if your resume needs to stand out, your resume must be powerful. When I say powerful, it should have all the related contents, all the related skills. It should display everything an employer need. And after that, to bypass these automated application tracking system or AI system, your resume must contain all the required keywords. Somebody's asked that what is the logic of these AI systems? The logic of these AI systems, that AI systems look for the keywords. It will scan the keywords in your resume, and it will check with the database of the company whether they are also seeking for the similar keywords. And if the keywords are matching, they will let your resume to move to the next step. Otherwise, it will be weeded out. So this is the logic most of these AI systems or ATS systems follow. So for a standout resume, it should be powerful. Okay, it should contain all the required experience, skills which a company is seeking. And for bypassing the ATS system, it should have all the keywords correctly mentioned, correctly sequenced, correctly written. Fine. Even the frequency of the keywords matter. If suppose if the company is looking for particular talent, so you should, how many times those keywords should be placed in your resume. All of these things matter. Fine. So this could be a particular logic for, this could be a particular logic for your resume to stand out. I hope it is clear till this point, right? Yes or no? Okay, fine. So we are moving with the the core section of this session. And for moving into the core section of this session, I would like to tell you that I have divided this particular session in two major parts. In the initial part of this session, I will be, explaining about the building blocks of your resume, that what are the essential parts of your resume, what are the building blocks of your resume. And in the next section, we will try to place all those building blocks step by step on your resume, just to craft your resume, right? We will craft your resume. And this session is going to be a result oriented session. When I say result oriented session, I mean that after this session, see, when I am telling you this session, I will be guiding you about everything, and side by side I would expect everyone to follow those steps and create your resume also. Most of you already have the resumes with you, but whether those resumes are as effective as we expect, okay, might not be. Fine. So the steps which we are following through this session, in the second part of this session, I will be following certain step-by-step guides. So I would expect everybody to follow those steps, so that at the end of this session, everyone who are participating in this session, they will be having a standout CA in their hand. Okay, so that is what we mean when we are saying we are going to perform a hands-on activity here. So hands-on activity will be, we are going to follow step by step, and we are going to create our CV in this session itself. This is going to be a 2-hour session. So in this 2-hour session, we are going to create our standout resume, and you will learn so many things that you can help even other you can help your peer group, you can help your brothers, you can help the youngsters to create the resume once you are aware about all these facts, right? So starting with the first section of my session, which is the building blocks about the resume. So for building blocks of a resume, the first building block which comes into the picture is your core skills. What are your proficiency level? What is your core skills? Because your core skills are just like the wheels of a car. Okay, your core skills could be like, there could be number of core skills, and these core skills are just like the wheels of a car. What wheels of a car do is, it will drive you from one person to another person, from one location to another location, right? Similarly, these skills, just like the wheels of your car, it will drive your resume from initial phase to the final phase to get you a job, right? But what happens, generally labor market experts do not have that much amount of time. We just saw they have hired software packages, and even after software packages, if your resume is moving forward to the next level, there are experts who don't spend a lot of time on your resume. On an average, there is certain survey conducted, and on an average, expert will scan your resume up to 6 seconds, not more than 6 seconds. So what he will find in 6 seconds, okay, you can say your years of your hard work will be scanned just in 6 seconds. So how should you make your resume stand out, so that if a person is spending just seconds to see your resume, he will assess that you have something, you have that thing which they need. Fine. So how do these experts scan your years of hard work just in 6 seconds? They have developed certain eye scanning techniques. Okay, like suppose if this is a resume, how an expert will look at this resume? The expert will have tendency, their eyes have the tendency to move to particular areas of your resume. Fine. They will just scan particular areas of your resume. Fine. Now what you need to do is, you should put all those effective core skills which you have into these areas, so that these areas will shout that yes, you have that skill which an organization need to thrive. This organization just need this thing which you have put in your resume. And your scan, see, after just 6 seconds, expert will understand that you have all those things. Fine. You should be, take care. You should be, careful about these areas, what you are writing into these areas, how you are writing these, into these areas, what content you are putting into these areas. That is what make your resume to, move to the next step. Suppose if a person has certain amount of skills, so he should place those skills into these key areas, which is coming under the eye scanning techniques, right? Okay. Theoretically, I just conveyed you that what you must do to bypass a 6-second mechanism. Fine. Let's take an example so that it will be more clear to all of us. See, this is a guy. He's Harry. Now, see, Harry is looking for a web developer role. Now, what he will do, he will go online, he will go to some job portal, and he will look for the job of web developer. Then he will find out certain job descriptions posted by the companies. Fine. Let's say this is one kind of a job description posted by some company. Now he will read this whole job description line by line. He will try to understand the job description. Fine. Now, once he read the job description, he was able to find some of the skills, some of the requirements a company is seeking, and he has highlighted those requirements, those skills. Now, what he will do, he will take out those skills, take out those specifications. Okay, he will list it out. Now he will see whether out of these requirements, whether Harry has these things as his core skills. If yes, he will naturally blend these skills and the requirement company has posted through job description and place them in the key areas of your resume, right? So that will help the scanner to reach out to Harry that yes, Harry has all those skills. So this is what we have just discussed, right? Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? What you must do in the first step up with your core skills. I want everybody to share your feedback. Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? Just 2 feedbacks. Other people, please. Yes. Fine. See, if it is clear to every one of you, we are going to perform a particular activity which will help the initial step of building of your resume. I have planned an activity and that will certainly help you, that will make wonders with your resume. Fine. So let's try to do. We are going to reverse engineer your skills. Reverse engineer your skills for putting it onto the resume. And for that, I have planned an activity here. So for this activity, what we are going to do is I'm giving you sample job descriptions. I was able to find some job descriptions. As per your profile, the group is like MCA group, fine. So I was able to find a job description according to the computer application group. Okay, so what we are going to do is you are going to read that job description and you are going to draft some skills out of it. You are going to seek the skills which the employer has posted through the job description, fine. So we are going to find out some key skills the employer is seeking, and then we will try to list all of them. Okay, just for a number, I have restrained myself to 6 skills. We are going to find 6 skills from the job description, fine. So where you can find the job description, if I click on this button, it should open something. Yes, I hope my screen is visible, and yes, it is visible. Now you can see a job description 1. This job description is posted by a company for a position of iOS engineer in New York. Fine. This is first job description, and similarly, I have this for the same role, iOS developer, posted by some other company also. So we are going to read out this job description, and we are going to make a list of the skills which are required by these companies. So generally, you first have to understand what is a job description. How does a job description looks like? Fine. Generally, if you see the job description in the initial some lines of the job description, company is giving certain information about the company, the industry itself. Then it will be talking about their working mechanism, their the requirements, how they deal with the customers. Fine. And then they will come with the specifics of the job also. Fine. So this is the structure of a job description. If you read, that company was founded, and this is the principle of the company, the working principle, maybe mission and vision of the company. This will tell you the legacy of the company. Okay, what is the core values of the company, and you can make use of it. How you will make use of it? Like when you are making your resume, the content of your resume, the statements you are writing in your resume should match the core values of the company also. So that company will relate to you. They can relate easily with your resume rather than the other people who have just sent a generic resume. You should not be very generic with your resume, fine? So they have written something about the company principles of breaking down the intimidating barriers around the financial transaction to make them intuitive, friendly, and even fun. It works with people who love spending money with Venmo. Okay, so this is somewhere about the company, but we are only just starting. We want to take the magic of sending money and cascade it to every. Let us make a quick read of this description. That means connecting people to your money in the most intuitive and fun way possible, then connecting people with each other. Okay, everything about the company here. Now, engineering at Venmo, working on cutting edge app that is used by millions of people love. At Vanamo, we are looking for engineers who want to inspired and inspire others. You can see what you can draw out from this statement, that the company is looking for someone who can work in team, who can inspire other people also, fine? So a kind of a team builder, a team player. Engineering is craft, and at Venamo, we want the internals of our software to be as elegant as the end user experience we are designing. Okay, so some designing part, obviously. We teach and learn from one another. See, again, one another. So it's the company is highly relying on team building activities and push each other to be our creative and analytical best. We work with the product team that is data driven, human centered, and its design principle. Okay, that's fine. Now, job specific requirements are mentioned maybe in this section. Let's just read. We are looking for iOS engineer who will be responsible for making engineering design decision development features. So they need to design. See, this is very specific requirement of the company. You will also be expected to be a role model on coding standard, tools, platform, and other best practices for the backend team. Fine. So you have to collaborate with the backend team to do certain activities. Okay, see, I'm not from the background, MCA background or computer application background, but I can understand what company is seeking here. Now, things you will do as a iOS engineer, okay? You are going to need advanced technical standards and quality, collaborate, again, team building with other engineers in API, again, very specific API design and development, fine? So help solve bugs, track software defects. So somebody who is a troubleshooter, fine, a problem solver. Building solutions for refactoring the existing code base, find solution for refactoring the code base, fine. So how you can optimize the code, improving our testing and tooling. So someone who is good at testing, fine. Interface with the product and other functional team, again a kind of a leadership, team building. What they are looking here in this section, they are mentioning the qualifications, the minimum eligibility, the Bachelor of Science or the related field of study, experience in software development and related field, experience in working with Swift, very specific they have got here. Okay, the candidate must know Swift, Objective-C or object-oriented programming skills, fine. So these things I can read somewhere here also. Experience with the software developer lifecycle. Okay, again, very specific. Familiarity with UI design, iOS UI design principles, right? Experiencing developing, maintaining, and innovating large-scale consumer-facing mobile application, strong communication skills with the ability to understand, explain technical issues to a non-technical audience, fine? So we have read and I was able to list out, see, I was highlighting some things in between. So at the same time, you should also highlight those things and you can relate with this more as compared to me, because since you are from the similar profile. Okay, now you can understand what core skills are required by the company, what is the value of the company, okay, what kind of personality they need. They certainly need a team player, they certainly need a troubleshooter, fine. So you should understand these things from the job description itself, fine. So when you are into your presentation, when you are into your core skills, like what we are doing here, you need to list out your core skills, right? In the very first part here we were talking about, you need to list out your core skills. When you're listing out your core skills, like for a number, I have decided we are going to list 6 skills. So in the 6 skills, should I write like a good singer, just like Kishore Kumar? Yes or no? Should I write a good Mehndi designer? Because I was able to read some of your resume itself, the resumes which we have sought from the students, and I was able to find good singer, a good Mehndi designer, maybe something like that. So should I write such things here? Obviously, no. Okay, this is a key area. People are going to spend just 6 seconds and evaluate you. Fine. So in this area, you should be very critical. You should understand the value of the company, the requirement of the company from the job description, and you just put those skills in that area. Fine. And we are able to read a job description, and from that job description, what we were able to take out, just make a list of it. Okay, I'll just give you some time. Let's spend some time on the job description. Let me just show you once again. Spend some time. Let me just share the link of this job description file with you so that you can also read it as per your ease. Okay, you can go through this link. I've just sent it through the chat. Click on this link and go through this job description. Make a list of the skills which the employers are seeking. Okay, and if you're ready, you can start sending it in the chat box, or you can unmute and start telling me that what skills the employer is seeking. Anybody who is ready, please, you can share your thoughts. What is the major skills you can figure out through the job description? Yes, everyone should participate. Okay, API design. Surprise is suggesting API design. Yes, very well. It is clearly written API design and development, right? Anyone else, please see the job description, try to evaluate what they are seeking, major skills, core skills. Swift programming, right? Swift programming, the company is very specific about this thing. Swift, Objective-C or object-oriented programming skills. Yes, software development lifecycle. Anyone else who are able to find some more major skills? Roughly, you can figure it out. What are the rough things? Maybe I can write testing here. Yes, Srishti has written testing, right? API design, correct. Swift, fine. We are done with Swift. You can write tracking the defects, solving the bugs, right? UI designs, you can say. Developing application, you can see. So all of these things can be easily found out from the job description, right? Let's see what I was able to figure out. I'll show you my perception from these job description. The first thing which I was able to find out is developing in a team environment. Everywhere in the company, in the job description, it was written something about the team work, team activity. So I would consider, I will prioritize the first thing which a company require from someone who the company is hiring is, he should be a team player. He should develop in a team environment. That is my topmost priority. Fine. Second, I can say designing and building with APIs, which you people also mentioned, troubleshooting and finding the bugs. This could be my core skill. Yes, the specific skills, object-oriented programming like Swift, Objective-C, these things, fine. Building and, yes, obviously, mobile application, iOS engineer, building and maintaining mobile application. Okay, proficient with software development lifecycle. So these could be like high priority skills. The company is, there could be many other skills also. There could be like, suppose as a developer, you might need like Java, Python, React, Angular. So there could be other things also companies seeking, but we are not writing it straight away here. Here we are just explaining that, traits, the characteristics you have as per the company's job description. That yes, you are a team player. You develop in a team environment. You have the capability to design the APIs. You can troubleshoot the problems. Okay, you can go for the testing. Okay, so these things I'm writing, I'm not going very specific with, yes, I can work with Node.js, I can work with React, or I can work with like Angular. Fine. Still, I'm not mentioning it here. Where I'm not telling you that you will skip those things. You must mention those things also, but not here. Okay, because most of the people who are applying for these jobs, they might be knowing Angular, they might be knowing React, they might be knowing every other things which job specific things, because these things are included in the curriculum. Fine. What extra nudge you have, you should frame it over here. Okay, you must mention those skills also, but where, that we will discuss later on. I hope it is clear. Yes or no? Okay, fine. Now, what I expect everyone, see, all of you must have your resumes prepared with you. Okay, already prepared. So just try to think about your 6 skills. What are, just like these 6 skills I have drawn or I have written. As we are, moving forward, you just make a list of your 6 skills. See, because this will be a result-oriented interaction session. So result will be, we are going to draw your CVs. So you must also figure out your 6 skills in the same manner, and then we will put it on your resume, right? So be ready with your 6 skills also. Meanwhile, I'm moving forward. Now, what we need to do is we need to optimize your resume in the age of algorithm. In the age of application tracking system, AI tools, your resume must be optimized. It should not be like any other resume, like thousands of people are applying for the same profile, same job. It should not be, similar to everyone. Okay, your resume should be optimized. Yes, we have to make your CV. Obviously, we have to make your CV tailor fit. Tailor fit. You can say tailor fit. I can say, it should be like the application based, the requirement, wherever you're applying, it should be target oriented. If you're sending a resume to a X company, it should be targeting the X company itself. If you're sending a resume to a Y company, it should target the Y company. Your resume should be written as per the company values. Fine. So you should make a general kind of a template, and just make a little adjustment, little modification, editing in your resume, just to make a target based profile. Fine. So I'll tell you how we can do that thing. But for now, just make a list of your 6 core skills in the same way which we have done. Now, I was talking about how can you optimize your resume in the age of algorithm. There are 5 basic steps which you should perform with your resume. Fine. The first step is find the matching language. Second step is you must identify the buzzwords. Okay, you should use solid titles in your resume. If you see in your CVs, there are bold titles which you use, internship or something like that. So you must use those titles solidly, effectively. I will tell you how. I will give you some ideas. Include relevant softwares in your resume. See, this is the age of algorithm. Everybody is looking for more automation, more smart work. So include those relevant softwares as per the job profile. Take an audit of keywords after making a resume. Check your resume for the keywords, whether your resume carries all those keywords which you were able to find in the job description, and whether those keywords are prioritized accordingly. Like in my example, team playing was one of the priority skills. So your keywords should be prioritized, right? So for finding matching language, how will you find the matching language? Okay, you should look for the keywords in the job description. In the job description, you will find out that what are the core values of the company, what is the working culture of the company. You should find the matching language from the job description. You should identify the buzzwords. Okay, you can find the buzzwords in the company's mission and vision, on the company's websites. See, somewhere it was written team player kind of activity. Your content of your resume should be written in the same manner. They were seeking intuitive individuals. Fine. So these could be like the buzzwords which you can figure out from the websites, from the job description, from the mission vision. You should identify those buzzwords, and you should use those words while making your resume, while making the content of your resume. You should use the solid and relevant title. Like suppose you're applying for a job interview as a developer, okay, and you are mentioning an internship section on your resume, a training section on your resume. You should not simply write training or internship. You should write like front-end internship, a React internship. Okay, similar like this. You should write with the particular internship also. Just don't go with internship or project. Okay, a Node.js project. Fine. A similar kind of things you should write in your resume. Solid titles should be there, so that the person who is reading it, you can easily catch those titles. Okay, you are going to need certain software, so you should list out major software. I was talking about that in your resume. You should not go for straight away Python and writing everything in the core skills itself. Yes, but you should list all those softwares. So you should include all those relevant softwares which are very necessary for your job profile. So you should list all those softwares, and where you should put it, I'll be telling you in a while. And after that, you should take a keyword, audit of the keywords of your resume, and it should match with the job description. Fine. Now I'll tell you a kind of a hack how you can take the audit of your keyword. Suppose you have prepared your resume. Okay, after preparing your resume, what you can do is you can copy the content of your resume and you can paste the content of your resume in one of the websites which are providing word clouds. Now, what is a word cloud website? Let me show you. If I go to internet, just a second, let's try to copy this job description. Fine, I'll tell you how this will work. If I copy this job description, and if I go to any of the website, let's say word cloud, any website, fine, this is kind of a website. Now, what is a word cloud? Let's see. It will, the content which I'm pasting here, it will generate a kind of a cloud, and in this cloud, the bolder words, the bigger words will tell you that how many times it is repeated. Fine. In the same way, you can work out with your resume also. Let's say if I just paste my text over here, and if I apply it, it will process my text, and you can see Venmo is repeated so many number of times. So you can understand this word is repeated higher number of times. And similarly, what is the next repetition, higher repetition? In this way, you can take the audit of your keywords also through your resume, right? So this is one of the quicker way to take the audit of your of the keywords of your resume, right? Is it clear, everyone? Okay, so what you need to do to optimize your resume is just follow these 5 steps. Find the matching language, find the buzzword, find the solid titles, include the softwares, okay? Take the audit of the keywords, and it will be, your resume is good to go, fine? Okay. Now, when you're trying to find the matching language, or when you're trying to, match up with the buzzwords of the company, you need to design the content to do these things. And while designing the content, you need to find those words. Now, what words do? What is the advantage with the words? Generally, words draw a picture in your mind. Like when I call out a term, sustainable energy. So it will project some pictures of solar panel, wind turbine, electric cars, EVs. So these words draws picture. It will generate some kind of ideas in your mind. So words do generate ideas in your mind, and the words which you are including on your resume, it should generate ideas in the mind of the employer. Fine. So you must power your language while designing the content of your resume. How can you power the language? Okay, you must use powerful words, solid words. I will tell you how you can do that thing. Okay. Similarly, powerful words also, see, the words which you are including, they are just not drawing the picture. They are building trust in the minds of the reader. He can relate with you with those words. Fine. So you must, develop a trust with those words with the employer. Fine. Other than building the trust by using the powerful word, what other things you must do while designing the content of your resume is you must integrate brands. Like when I am writing a job description, which I have done, I must write with what clients I have worked with. I may have worked with L&T or Reliance or something like that. You must integrate the brands. Okay, it could not be like it's not mandatory that it should be a very popular brand, but at least you should write those names. That means if somebody is reading those names, or somebody is reading your content, he will understand that yes, he's very particular about the brand. He's very particular about the content. That means he must have done this work. Okay, it will generate a trust with the reader, right? You must quantify your work. You might have developed an app, but how many times it was downloaded, how many people have used, what is the frequency? So you must quantify those things. You must give a detail. If you develop the app, which framework you have used, which library you have used, you must detail it. Fine. So when you're writing those contents, you must include powerful words, you must include brands, you must quantify your content, you must put certain details, right? So this will make your resume, it will optimize your resume, it will optimize the content which you are presenting to the employer. I hope it is clear, and you can ask your doubts if it is any doubts, because we can't move forward if you are still having a doubt in these sections. Please ask your doubts if are, otherwise if it is clear, let me know by a yes. Okay, so I assume this section is clear. This is it's a lot of theory which I'm telling everyone. Fine, I'm going to perform. Yes, take words from GD, very correct. I'm going to perform an activity by including all of these things which I have just discussed. Let me just show you certain example. Okay, suppose just the same JD which we have seen. Now what you are going to apply, and you're going to write something about that. You have read that job description. Fine. Now you have to include your resume. You are going to design the content for your resume. So whether you should write, I help develop an iOS app for the group of scientists. So this is how naturally we also say it. But whether we should write it in the same way in your resume also, okay? Or is there any other method? Taking all the things which we have discussed in the previous slide. Okay, in the previous slide, I told you can power your content through using the powerful words, integrating brand, quantifying, and detailing. So you see, we are missing out on powerful words. Maybe you are missing out on the brands, on the quantification and detailing. It's very generic statement, right? So when you're designing the content, it should not be this generic. Instead of writing this in this manner, what is a better way to write? Let's see. Okay, collaborated. Now see, this is the characteristic. A team player, fine, collaborated with a team of X number of teams. See, it says the team size also, to develop an iOS app for some science group or organization. It will integrate the brand. It will write the name of the organization, fine, which was successfully launched on the date. You can see the detailing part here, and downloaded this many times. You can see the quantification in the first X months detailing, right? So you can see how we have powered the content. Okay, we have included all those four necessities which I have just mentioned, including the powerful word, including the brands, quantification, and detailing. You must make your content using all these four. You should include all these four things, right, while making the contents. Am I clear? Is the example clear to everyone? Right? So what we are able to do is we have just converted this generic statement to a powerful statement by following just four techniques, four things here, including the powerful word, including the brand, quantification, and detailing, right? Now, this could be like very easy to say when I'm explaining these things, but when you're practically doing it on your resume, you might be facing certain challenges. You might be, falling short of powerful words. Fine. You might be falling short of how to frame these sentence. So for that, I was able to develop a toolkit. So I have just developed a toolkit for all of you, those who are participating in this session. Now you can make use of this toolkit. Let me just show you this toolkit. See, here I have listed. Exactly. The main problem, people are very casual with their resume and CVs. The number of resumes I have seen, the people you people have sent, if you see, you will be like, why these people are not serious? Okay, so you should be serious with your profile, because this is the first, it's kind of a visiting card. It will be your first interaction with the employer. You should be serious about making the resumes, fine? So this toolkit generally contains some powerful words as per the roles or the profiles. Fine. Like suppose if somebody is going to write about the leadership roles they have displayed. Fine. They can use one of these words. They might have led a team of something. They have influenced a client. Fine. So they can use these words if they have performed a leadership kind of role. Okay. If you have performed a communication activity, you might be communicating something with the team. Fine. So you can use these words for research activities, for design activities, for creating activities. You might be designing applications. You might be designing systems. So you can use these words. For finance related activities, for teaching related activities, you might be providing corporate trainings, fine. So you can use these words to, write the statement of your content. So make use of this toolkit. I will share the link with this of this toolkit with all of you, and you can make your resume by the help of these powerful words, right? I've given certain sample also of using a good language. Okay, you must use words like successfully, created, charged, leading. Okay, so these are some words which will show or which will build a trust with the employer that yes, this candidate is positive. He's successful in his life. Fine. There are certain other ways to write, like somebody can say, I raised $5,000 for disaster relief fund. So see, still we are missing out on the powerful word brands, quantification, detailing in this statement. How will you write it? A powerful word spearheaded a 5,000 fundraising effort to assist the victim of something disaster by promoting through the something and making direct appeals to exponential. See here they have written, I would not say it as a brand, but some detailing is there, fine. Some quantification is there. Okay, and in the same way, you can read out all the other examples also and make use of this toolkit. This is exclusively designed for you people. Okay, now the time to activity. Since we now know that what we should follow to design an effective content for your resume. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to think about one of the most recent career experience. You might be working on something, you might have done an internship or a project. So just try to think about that experience, fine, where you might have done developed something, you might have given a training or something like that. Just try to think about that experience. Now try to align what was the most important in that experience, okay, with your highest priority skills. Now for developing an app, or suppose you have developed something or some web application, for developing that app, what was the most important skill you have used? Okay, then you will reframe that experience to fit that skill. Okay, now when you are able to do this thing, describe your part in the experience by integrating. See, now you will make the statement after you are able to list out about that experience and you are able to fit that skill in that experience. Try to make a statement, try to make a statement, fine, by including powerful words, by integrating brands, quantities, details in the description, fine. And in the same way, try to make such statement 2 to 3 statements for a job description, right? And this, then it will be it will be the work experience part of your resume. Your work experience part of your resume will be done, right? So this is how we can power your resume content. So think about it. Okay, this could be an activity which we will use in the step-by-step guide. All right, I have given an example. Like suppose recently I had to analyze some data for a particular role. So what I have done is I have tried to make my experience was analyzing the data, and the skill is also analyzing the data, fine. So here how I have made this content or made this statement, fine. Enable the creation of large Excel database built with data point gathered from Security and Exchange Commission website on 200 publicly traded companies, and use the database to analyze goodwill impairment calculation made by the firm during 2010s. So you can read this statement. I have gathered the experience, I have gathered the skill which is employed in this experience when analyzing the data. And then for making the statement, I have just followed the 3 steps which I told you: integrating the brand, quantification, and detailing. So you can see I have integrated a brand here, Security Exchange Commission, some quantifications, and some detailing, fine. Some detailing like goodwill impairment calculation, this kind of a taxation system, fine. So these things I have included in my statement. And in the same way, you can make the statements for you also, for your job application, for your roles which you have performed, for your work experience. Fine. I will show you some more examples of the resumes I was able to find on internet. You can see somebody is working as a financial project assistant, and he has assisted in analyzing. Assisted is again a kind of a powerful word. Analyzing potential real estate acquisition across X state, detailing, quantification, fine. So everything is including in their statement also. So in the same way, you should also make your work experience look like. Okay, some more examples you can find out. I'm not going into much detail. You think about your purpose. When you are writing your work experience, you should mention it in the same way. Don't simply write that I developed this, I developed that. Okay, I collected this data. Okay, you make it sound trustworthy. We will talk about the maximum number of pages also. This could be a concern that if I'm writing that much in detail, should I be, writing the entire book about my resume, entire book about the resume? Obviously not. Your resume should be very precise. And in the very initial phase, I told you that your resume should not be generic. It should be very specific. You should not, write everything in your resume. You are not a Mehndi designer, fine? You should be very particular about the job profile, what you're writing. Okay. So if you're able to see, I would like everybody to perform this activity, because this activity is again going to help us in the second part of our presentation when we are going to talk about the step-by-step guide. Okay. Now every resume, if you see the resume, every resume contains a summary section at the very beginning. Now this summary section, when you are going to write your summary about yourself, you should always write the summary at the end of your resume. You first make all the other part of your resume, you make the part of your core skills, you make the part of your work experience, education, everything. And at the end, you should write the summary section whenever you're making the resume for yourself. But when you're writing a summary for yourself, okay, when you're writing the summary about yourself, how should you write the summary? Okay, what are the details? Because again, this is the summary falls in this eye scanning area. Fine. If somebody is reading your resume, he'll first initially look at your summary, what you have done. Okay, what is it about you? Fine. So you should be very careful about the summary also. So what major things you should include in your summary? Okay, so that is what we are going to talk here. Your resume must have a summary section. First of all, some people might not include a summary section in your resume. You should not do it. You must include at least two to three lines of summary you should have on your resume. And it should be crafted on the lines which we have discussed so far. We have discussed about integrating brands, or fixing, making your skills to fall, or making your skills to sell you. Fine. You should make the list of the skills, and you should integrate those skills in the summary section also. Okay, your top skills must be summarized in a way that it aligns with the role you are targeting. Fine. You might be working, or you might be targeting some roles, or your skills must be aligned in the summary section so that it can make a good impression about you. I'll take an example here. Suppose this guy, Josh, he's working as a product manager at an organic food firm. And we are going to write the summary of his section. Fine. So he's working as a product manager in a food firm. So how he will write the summary section, that is what we are going to try here. You see, this is a generic statement which I have written for the summary in this template. A skill summation of X years experience in the industry. I have bolded out the things which you can replace with your particular role. So the skill summation of X years. Josh is a product developer, right? Product manager. So his skill summation could be product managing the products. Fine. So how he will write: a product managing expert with 4 years of experience. Okay, in the industry, what kind of industry he has experienced in food processing and distribution. Fine. So this is the opening line of the summary, that he is an expert of something with this much amount of experience and in this industry. Fine. You can see here in the industry, in the experience, and the expertise. Fine. Now the second line is a unique characteristics professional who specialize in now you can talk about the skills over here, but you can talk about the characteristic, a person characteristics here. But this characteristic you can derive if you have the characteristic similar, but the characteristic is available in the job description. You remember in the job description, it was mentioned about team playing. Okay. It was mentioned about intuitive, something like that. So in the job description, you can also find the characteristic a company is idealizing. And if you have the similar characteristic, you can mention it over here. Fine. So how Josh will write it? He has specialized in managing the entire product life cycle from scratch. So this is a characteristic. He's specialized in this particular thing. Fine. And the skill is product life cycle. He can manage the product life cycle from the scratch. He could be having different skills also, which is related. He can mention it here. So this could, compile the summary for Josh as per his role he's targeting. Fine. Similar kind of summary you can write for yourself also. Don't be very generic about the summary. You should target the employer with your summary. Fine. I hope it is clear. Yes or no? Okay. So again, this is just the building block, and in the building block we talk about how you should write the core skills, how you should frame the core skills, how you should write the summary, and how you should write the work experience by integrating brand, quantification, detailing, powerful words. Fine. So everything we have discussed so far about the building blocks. So we are familiar with all of these things now. Okay. So I think we are ready with making your resume step by step, right? Yes or no? We are ready. Okay. But before starting to make your resume, let us just go through some do's and don'ts, some tips about resume, and let's just try to bust some myths about resume. So let's try to see what are the myths, what are the do's and don'ts. I would want your participation also in this thing. The thing is, should you tell your life story in your resume? Yes or no? Should you tell everything about you? Should tell everything about your resume, about you in your resume? Yes or no? No. Okay. Because the very first statement about resume is you should be very specific about when you're writing in your resume. You should be specific about the job role you are targeting. Not even specific about you, but about the job role. Okay. And the job role which is matching your character. You should not write every trait you have. You should write only those traits which are according to the job description. Fine. So you should be very specific. You should not tell your life story. Fine. Okay. Next is you should keep your resume on one page anyhow. You can say anyhow you have to limit your resume in one page. Yes or no? Doesn't matter how many work experience, how many projects you have done. Should you keep limit your resume in one page? See, there could be like contradiction on this particular question, but we will try to logically explain this contradiction, logically try to explain this scenario here. Whether you should keep your resume in one page anyhow. I've included this word anyhow on purpose. Fine. No, obviously no. Suppose if somebody has an experience of 7, 8 years or 10 years, and he has managed so many roles, so many functions, and all of those functions are very targeting the job he is looking. Fine. So he can't skip on any of them. Fine. He should mention all of them. But yes, suppose if you're applying for a job of a web developer, and you have a work experience of a HR recruiter also, maybe in the very early phase of your career, you have done some other jobs. So you should not. It is not mandatory for you to include all those experience also. Fine. In details, you should be very specific with the job you are targeting. So yes, okay, ideally we should limit ourselves to limit the number of pages to 1 on your resume if you don't have a lot of experience. Fine. But if you have the content which is suitable to your target job, then you must mention it. And in that case, your resume can go up to 1.5 to 2 pages, but not more than that also. Fine. You should never exceed a limit of 1.5 to 2. Otherwise, what it will project that the applicant may be some arrogant guy. He thinks very high of him. Fine. So you should not also leverage this thing. Yes, you try to keep your resume in one page if you don't have a lot of experience. But otherwise, if you have the content which is suitable to the targeting job, you can take a leverage and you can make your resume to 1.5 or 2 pages. Am I clear with this? Somebody has asked this question also to me through the chat. What should be the maximum number of pages? So is this clear? What could be the maximum number of pages? Yes, Sarfaraz has asked, right? Now, what is the next myth? You must not leave any gaps in your education and employment on your resume. Do you or do you not leave gaps? Like suppose you have completed your education, let's say in 2021, and you were not able to find the job till 2022 or 23, now let's say 2022 for this moment, fine. So should you leave those gaps, or should you cover it with some internship, some projects? Should you leave the gaps? Because some people has perception that if you leave the gaps on your resume, it will project a negative image of you in the mind of employer. Okay, see, generally as an employer also, they understand that job market is not easy to find job very frequently. Okay, and it does take some time to find a suitable job. Fine. So if you have a small gap of a small window of 6 months or a year, let's say, you can leave this very fairly. When you are in an interview, maybe the job employer or maybe yourself, you also can tell about yourself that yes, you have this, you are going through that period, and you were looking at these things. Fine. So it's not mandatory to fill all the gaps. Yeah, but if you have a significant amount of gap of, let's say, 5-6 years, then you must think about it. Fine. Should you include a non-paid job, volunteerism on your resume? Should you include a non-paid internship or something like that in your resume? Yes or no? Okay, Sarfraz is saying yes. If it's specific, Ayush is saying yes. Rajat is saying yes. Yes, obviously you should include a non-paid job or volunteerism. If, again, there is a big if here, if that job or that volunteerism is, related with the job you are targeting. Suppose you might have you in your college time, you were at the part of a group. Let's say that is a social media group or a NGO group. But if that NGO group is not relevant with the job application you are targeting, please don't write it. Otherwise, if you were a part of a coding group, ethical hacking group, fine, then you must mention it. Fine. So if your if your volunteerism, if your internship is relevant with the job you're targeting, you must mention it. Okay, should you include funky eye-catching email IDs on your resume? Yes or no? See, 6 seconds is all you have. So should you include some funky eye-catching IDs? A big no. Yes, a big no. Yes, fine. Because see, you want to project yourself as a professional, serious person. Fine. And the employer should see you like that. So obviously you should not go for funky eye-catching email ID. School Rohit 121 is not a good email ID to write on your resume. Fine. So you should make your email ID more professional, right? Even nowadays, I see LinkedIn profiles are a big yes for the employers who look for you. Fine. So on your LinkedIn profiles, you should have more more professional pictures. Okay, even the cover pictures on the LinkedIn ID, it should be more professional. On your GitHub profile or any other portfolio sites where you're placing yourself, so it should be more professional. This is one thing which I want everyone after this session. If you have some funky profile photo on your LinkedIn profile or any other platform, please change it to some professional photograph. Okay, please follow it as soon as possible. Okay. So this is all the myth I was, I wanted to everyone to know. Let us start with the step-by-step guide. That is the second part of my presentation. So far as I am not getting you with this message, need to change my LinkedIn profile for different company. If you could unmute and explain this thing, I would be glad. Okay. So in the step-by-step guide, before starting with the step-by-step guide, I am going to project, see, in front of you can see 4 different resume templates. Okay. And you can clearly see that they have been designed differently. So if you need to select in any one of the template, which one would you select for making your resume? Okay, whether the first one, which is very elegantly designed, even the third one and fourth one, and second one is quite simple. So when you're selecting the resume template or you're formatting your resume, what should be the format? It should be very stylish. Okay, so obviously there is an odd one out in this particular options, the second one. Now, why second one should be selected over the other stylish ones? Because the second one is kind of a more professional, a simple looking format. And this format will not distract the reader. Otherwise, if the reader is on the third or on fourth or even on the first resume, he has to search for your things, search for your core skills, search for other things, right? So we don't want to give hard time to the reader, because reader is not going to spend a lot of time on your resume. So it should be as simple as possible. Okay, it should be as professional as possible. Yes, if you're applying for some graphic designer job, some animator, some kind of creative jobs, then these other three resume could be good for you. But if you're going for a professional role, you should always select such kind of templates for your resume. Am I clear? Yes, Ayush is saying depends on the profile. So if your profile is asking for you to be more creative, then you can go for such resumes. But if you're going for a professional role, then you should go for a simpler looking format, because it will not distract the reader, or it will take the reader directly to the point where you want him to be. Okay, you want him to be on a particular location, and it will be easy for him also to scan those areas. Other than scanning these areas would be little difficult for the reader. So this is how you should be very careful while selecting the template. Now, for making the resume, you have to follow a fixed number of steps. What are those steps? I was able to compile. I have compiled a document for all of you. Fine. In that document, I have written step by step in the very elaborative manner. So if you perform all those steps in the same exact way, you are going to develop a very standout, optimized, ATS proof resume for yourself. I could give my words to you on this thing, right? Like if you click onto this button, it will take you to that guide. So this guide, if you scroll this guide consists of 10 steps. There are 10 steps in this guide, and each step will tell you what you need to do in a particular zone. Like the first step is write your name and contact info. So on the template, if you are creating a template, you should write and name, contact info, and how you should write it. Everything is written in very descriptive manner. After writing the name info, you should write your we are not talking about summary here. Summary is something which you will write at the end of the resume. Fine. Then you should write about the 6 skills. You should write about the job titles, organization name. Okay. Then you will describe each organization. You will describe each role by including brands, quantification, detailing, which we have talked about, optimizing your resume. Fine. So everything, powerful words, you will integrate everything over here in this step number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Will write everything which we have discussed in powering your content. Then you should mention about educations, extras, and at the end you should write the summary. After writing the summary, proofread your resume, look for the grammatical errors, spelling errors, even the formatting of resume should be uniform. It's not like somewhere you are using a Times New Roman font, and other places you are using a Arial or Calibri. The font which you are using, it should be throughout your resume. The formatting of the resume should be, the placing of the things, it should be correct, right? Because it will make your resume to look better. Then make your resume shareable. So how will you make your resume shareable? I will be talking about this also in a while. So these are the steps I have created, and I will give you access to all of these documents after this session. And you must follow these steps. Just for now, I will share this link in the chat also. So you must follow all of these steps, okay, by the letter and words to make your resume. Okay, moving on to the presentation. Now, as we are going to start making the resume step by step, see, everybody should be with me. They start making their resume also. Please, if somebody is on the mobile phone, put it aside, go and take your computer, okay, and open a Word file or something like that. Now, for ease of placements or for ease of formatting, I just told you that you must format your resume uniformly. So for ease of formatting or placement of the content in your resume, you must already design a template for yourself, for your resume. Now, what content you must put, that is a separate thing, but you first make a framework of your resume so that it will make the format of your resume uniform. Fine. So make a template of your resume first and use that template to target different job applications or job opportunities. Fine. For your convenience, I have given some suggestive templates. So there are certain suggestive templates. It's not like that you have to follow these templates hard and fast. Okay, but just for your help, I have given some certain suggestive templates. The template for general use, except the freshers, I have given a template for a fresher student also. And then I have given a link to sample resumes. Here, if you explore them, you will be able to find some of the resume written by industry experts for themselves. And you will have some examples so that you can use implement those examples in your resume also. These resumes are, already pre-prepared by the experienced people for themselves itself. So after this session, you may explore this part also. But for now, let me pick any of a template. Let's say if I pick the first template, it will open a Google Docs. Now it's totally up to you. If you want to use a Microsoft Word, if you want to use a Google Doc, you can use it anyway, fine. So if I want to make use of this template, what I will do, I have shared this with you, and if you want, I can share the link with you here also. Okay, so this is the link of the template which I have shared with the chat on the chat. Now, when you go to this link, this link will be opened first of all. Now, what you should do in the very first step, you should go to the file. Either if you want to work on Word, Microsoft Word, you should download it as a Word file. Otherwise, if you want to work on the Google Docs, you should make a copy. Okay, so make a copy, write any name. For now, write any name. I will also tell you naming of your resume. For now, let's just go with this name. So I made a copy of this template. It's taking some time. Okay, so when I'm making some copy here, so there is some challenge here. Okay. So challenges could come. We should not, bothered by the challenges. We should work on this. Okay. Okay. Fine. So this is my template here. Now on this template, at the very top, you can see we need to write the first and the last name here. So we will take some examples. See, I'm going to take an example of a hypothetical case. Let's say I have a student came to me and he asked me to make his resume. He want to target a front-end development role. Fine. So I told him to find out certain job description, look for a job description. Okay. And after finding the job description, read the job description, just what we did in the introduction session also. I told the same things to him and he was able to do these things and he have given certain information to me. So once he have given certain information to me, I was able to make his resume, and I will do it here also. So let's say for a front-end development, I have asked him to find the job description, and what job description he was able to find. Let me just try to show you. Just a second. Just a second. Okay, so this was a job description he was able to find, which is published by Infosys. Now, here in this job description, again, Infosys has written something about Infosys in the initial few lines, and then the Infosys has written about the specifics of the job. Okay, so I told him to look for the key skills, core skills they are looking. Okay, read about the buzzwords, identical matching languages. So those things we have done with the candidate, and then after that, just a second. If I place it here, this is the job description. Okay, now what I did, the name of the student was, let's say, the first name is Harsh. Okay, see, I'm making it to write in, as per my template, I'm writing it in the bold letter, block letters. Okay. Now, presently, Harsh is also working as a front-end developer, or as a developer. So you can, in the extras, he can write about his present role. Okay, he's working, so he can write here. Fine. Now he can mention his email ID, LinkedIn profile, and phone number over here. Fine. So the LinkedIn ID is hyperlinked here, and I hope everybody knows how to hyperlink there. Suppose if you are writing something here, let's say if I'm writing LinkedIn. So it's not like I'm going to copy the URL of the LinkedIn and I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So it will look very odd over here. So better you should write the terms LinkedIn profile. Okay. Okay, once you are able to write the LinkedIn profile, just hyperlink it with the link of your profile. Okay, so for hyperlink, you can just select the sentence, press Control K from the keyboard, and just paste your LinkedIn profile URL of your LinkedIn profile. Let's say URL of my LinkedIn profile. Okay, and just put it here. So your LinkedIn profile, if the employer is seeking or is reading your resume on a computer or on a mobile phone, he can directly click over it and navigate to your LinkedIn profile. So this is how you can work on the top section of your resume. After this, the functional expertise. See, I'm leaving the summary part for now. I will do it at the end. Now, after this, the functional expertise. So here in the functional expertise, I asked him to write at least 6 skills as per the job description and the skills Harsh is possessing right now. Right? So for that, Harsh went to this job description. He read about the job description. Fine. So if you read about the job description, you will be able to find the company's theme, some common skills they are needing. Okay, some other requirements like experience in building modern single page applications using these tools, experience in front end frameworks, experience in delivering network automation, designing, implementing, optimizing these APIs, version control system, Python programming, Bash PowerShell. So you will read about everything. Okay, here. So after reading everything, so we were able to find 6 of his core skills. See, when I'm doing this thing, you should also side by side, I would request everyone, if you are also looking for a front-end development job, you should list at least 6 skills from this job description. Okay, from this job description, and make a list and put it on the functional expertise section of the resume. Fine. For now, which I was able to find, yes, since the job is about front-end development, so here I should write, and obviously Harsh has worked on his skills to write it here. I should write front end development tools. So he has the idea of all the front end development tools which are sought by the company here, and he has put it here. Fine. So that is first thing. Now going back to the part of job description. Now, other thing is yes, a front end framework which will come under front end development tools. Okay, building applications, optimize APIs. So similar way, the APIs which we have written the activity also, I can write it here. The topmost priority was developing the front-end development tools. Other than this, we can write as per the skills the person has. I can write building APIs, right? Anything else I can find? Experience in Python programming, strong analytical skills, curious and collaborative. You can see collaborative also. Okay, Agile, Scrum, right? So we can write, let's say, building applications, I can say, building single page applications. So we can say building applications Okay. Problem solving, brainstorming skills. Solve a problem. So somebody who is a problem solver also, you can write problem solving, or better a technical term would be like a testing, good at testing. Okay, so we can say performance testing. Right, performance testing. Okay, since it's a software based job, so people must be expecting to understand. Yeah, you can see here also experience in agile and project delivery methodologies. So we can write something like that. Agile development or agile methodologies. Okay. Fine. We can write about development of software also. Software. Or yes, somebody has written SDLC in the chat also. But we will try to avoid the acronyms. Okay, we will write it complete. Try to minimize the use of acronyms also while making the resume. You can see we are able to list out the 6 major skills which is expected in the job description and which the guy has, which the individual has, right? And we are going to implement it in this particular section, right? This is the first part. First step, I can say the first part which we can do. Next is we are going to work on the job description part, or you can say the work experience part. So what you should include, or in what sequence you should write the latest job. It should be always the latest first, and then in the sequential manner you should write it. It's not like you should write the first job you have done, then the second job, then the third job. It should not be in that manner. You should always write the latest job first, and then accordingly you should write the other jobs. This person has worked in one of the company. Let me just name that company, like let's say some generic name, XYZ Enterprises. Okay, XYZ Enterprises. So this is the name of the company. In this company, he has worked in a particular profile. Let's say the profile he worked as associate software developer, right? And what was the time period where he was working into? Fine, let's say some time he has worked. Currently he's working in the same, because see, we are going as per the current, the latest one. So currently he's working, but he has, let's say, joined in 2021 January. So I can write January 2021, or you can write 1.1/2021 to, let's say he's presently also working here. So you can write presently working, or any other term, right? So this is how you can write the company's name, company's profile. Till date, yes, very good suggestion. Till date also you can write. So here you can write in the next line, general information about the role. So a general point. Now here, for the first time I've been generic. You should write a general thing about your role. Okay, what the person is doing, a general information about the role, like the daily responsibility the person is performing as an associate developer. He can write it here, but in again a very precise manner. And later on, we will try to relate all those job roles, job functions through these skills which we have mentioned over in this section, right? So we are going to associate, we are going to place all of these skills in the job description. Okay, and in the template you can see I have written purposely skill 1, the topmost priority. Okay, so you should first place the topmost priority over here. Fine, the topmost priority is front end development tool. So you should mention your job role associated with your skill. If you remember, one of the activities I have presented during my presentation. So first, the topmost skill I have with this experience is front end development tools. Fine. So this is the skill I have used in my experience. Now, when I'm writing, when I'm writing front-end development tools, this is the skill, and I need to write the content now. I need to power this content. If you remember my section where I was talking about the content, you should include the powerful words. You should include the brand. You should include the quantity and detailing here. So that is what I'm going to write it here. I'm going to make it here. Okay, so let's say as a front-end developer, what Harsh has done, he has assigned a role of maintain a large and complex legacy. See, again, it's a powerful word, maintaining the large and complex legacy of. Now here, you can include certain brand, certain name. You can write the name of the company also, or legacy for clients. Like, you can write the name of the clients. Let's say for now, I'm writing, let's say IBM or any other clients. Okay, so you have included the brand. Okay, for controlling operations, like, now you can write about the operations, through network. Now you can write about the details of the job he has performed over here. Fine. So this is how you can write about a job description. You can see hardly 2 lines detail is there. Right. Similarly, for other roles, suppose he has also worked for building APIs there. Right. So he can include this next skill he has. And you should be very careful while copying and pasting the things. It should not, change the format of your present template. Otherwise, your template will not look uniform. Fine. So there is some error. Yes. Building APIs. And in the same way, you should write about this job description also. You should include certain brands. Already you have included the brand here. So you can avoid, repetition. You have already included the brand in the first page. Otherwise, if the client is someone else for API role, you can mention it. Otherwise, don't repeat these things again. Okay, but still you can mention about the quantification and detailing in this particular role also. Fine. So this is how you can write the job description or the work experience section. Am I clear? Yes or no? Please ask your doubt if you have any. Otherwise, we can move forward. So what we did, we are able to write about the skills section. We are able to write about the work experience, and we have just formatted the topmost part where we are talking about the contact details of the person. Fine. Now, the next part is writing about the relevant projects. Now, if you remember, if I take you back to my presentation, I have shown you a topic, yes, here to optimize your resume. You need to use solid titles. Fine, solid titles here. So when you are into your resume, okay, when you are going to write about the projects, so what should I write here, or how should I make the titles in such a way that it should, associate with your skill? Okay, so you can write like, okay, building project on building APIs. Okay, D is missing. Fine. So you can write the name of your project or give the title in such a way that it gets more relevant. And then you can write about the description of the role, impact, and skills you have demonstrated. Okay, some quantity detailing. Okay, if it is possible, you can write about the brand if you have done it for any brand. Fine. So you can write the description in the same way which I have taught you here when you're writing for your job description. Fine. The same way you can explain your project also. So this is how you can make the relevant project section of your project of your resume look like. Once you are done with the project and internship over here, you can also write about the internship in the same manner. You can write about the education. And when you're writing about the education, you should also write the latest education first and then move down. You should not write the, the earliest education first. You should write about the latest first. Reverse chronology you should follow. Fine. Suppose if you're right now, if you're pursuing a Masters of Computer Application, so you should write here Master of Computer Application. Okay, so this is my latest degree. Here I've written in the bracket focus. Sometimes people do it like part-time or regular. So in that case, the person can mention it over here. Otherwise, if it is regular, don't write regular. Fine. If somebody is doing in the part-time basis, then you can use the focus thing. And in extras, now it's totally up to you. You can write your CGPA degree here. Otherwise, if you are avoiding, at least you should write the year in which you have completed. Right now, if you are pursuing, you can go for writing pursuing. And if it is completed, in which year it was completed, let's say it is completed in 2021. So in this manner, you can write the name of your degree, the year, now name of your institute, name of your college, okay, name of your university. So here, suppose he has done his MCA from LPU, Lovely Professional University. Again, avoid acronyms. In many of the resume, I was able to find MIT. Okay, so what is MIT? Which MIT you are talking about? It's very difficult to assess. So please write the full name of the institute. Okay, so Professional University. Okay, when I looked for MIT, it was MIT in somewhere in Srinagar. So it's not like that. You should write full name so that it should not create any confusion. You should write a brief area like the name of the city and the state. You can write like LPU is situated in Fagwara, Punjab. So this is my highest or the latest qualification. Similarly, before MCA, I might have done BCA in the year, the institute name, and the place. Fine. So this is how you can write your resume. Other than this, suppose if you have done, suppose nowadays, this is the age where you do a lot of certification online. So
sir, I am having one question here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just as in the case, the MCA students who are pursuing MCA degree with us,
Yes,
they
sir.
are having specializations.
Yes, sir.
Like one is data science, one is web development.
Correct, sir.
Should they write it somewhere so that they can the employer will be knowing that what in which specialization the student is pursuing?
Exactly, sir. See, that is why I have purposely here I have written focus. That if you want to draw focus of the employer on your degree, suppose if you're doing it part-time, you can write part-time also. If you're doing it in any specialization you're doing, you can make use of this section over here.
Yes,
if you're doing any specialization, you should write data management, data analysis, or any other specialization you're doing.
In the case of MBA, if I talk MCA, sorry, if I talk about,
yes, sir.
We are offering 2 specializations which all these students of MCA, they would have opted.
Yes,
that either they can have data science or they can have web development.
Let's say if the student has done data science, so in the bracket he simply write data science. Okay, that is the focus area of his degree, right?
Very right.
And in this way, he can write it in his degree. Fair question asked by Ajay sir. So you can also put in your thoughts, what you are thinking about this section. Okay, moving forward, no problem. Suppose you have done any other external certification also. So you must mention it if it is relevant to the job you are applying for. Suppose you have done a certification in any particular software which is not related with your current target job, so you can avoid it. Otherwise, suppose if your certification is related with the job which you are applying targeting, you must mention it. And where you will mention it, you will mention it in this section. And again, you should not crowd your certifications. Suppose somebody has 8 or 10 certifications, 20 certifications, you should not write every one of them. If they are relevant, then only you can include them. Fine. So it should not sound too flashy. Fine. So maximum you can go for 3 to 4 certifications you can display over here. Otherwise, you can make use of this section to explain the rest of your certifications. Fine. So here, the major certifications which are very relevant to your job, you can mention it, name of your certificate. Many a times, the issuer of the certificate give you certificate numbers also, URLs also for verification of the certificate. You should mention it here. The organization which has issued your certificate and in which year you have, you are able to get the certificate, you should mention it over here. For example, in this case, the Harsh was able to done a certification on Agile Scrum Master. Fine. So I can write here the name of the certification, Agile Scrum Master. Fine. This is the name of the certification he has done. And the issuer has given him some certification number also. So he can write the certification number here. Fine. So this is a certification number. And if there is any link, you can hyperlink with the link. Suppose you can select the certification number, control key, and you can write the name of the URL where somebody can go and verify. Just for an example, I'm writing Google here. Otherwise, you can give the URL where the certification can be validated, and name of the institute or the organization who has given the certificate. Fine. Let's say, for example, if I'm just for an example, it could be wrong. Coursera. Fine. And in which year he has done the certification? Let's say 2022. So in this manner, you can list out all those. See, this certification is very closely related to the job description, because in the job description, somebody is seeking the agile methodologies and he has those certifications. So it will give some extra edge to his profile. So in this manner, you must include the certifications also if you have. Now, other section which I have included is volunteerism. So same volunteerism like in your college days, in your student days, if you have joined certain groups which have worked into a role which is similar to the job of you are applying, then you can go for including the volunteerism section also. Otherwise, if you have participated in those groups which are not closely related with your job application, you can avoid this section also. You can delete it. It's not like you should mandatory follow all the sections. If you don't have those relevant skills available, which is linked with the job, you can always go on deleting these things. Fine. So this is the section here. Next section is other relevant information. See, we are very focused about relevant. I don't want to include anything irrelevant in your resume. By irrelevant, I means the job is specific, application specific things. Fine. So other relevant information, sometimes the employers seek what languages do you know, because they might want to use your languages to communicate with the local people or local areas where they may post you. Fine. So what languages do they know? Do the candidate know? They must seek these things. So you can write the languages and the level of your proficiency in the language. Now, here I have used additional on purpose. Like if you write languages known, you can always go for English, Hindi, Punjabi, and any other languages you know. But obviously, since you have written this whole, see, it is believed that candidate has made this resume, and this whole resume is written so neatly and perfectly in English. So that shows, that displays your proficiency in English. So it's better, logically, you should not go for writing English and basic, advanced, or intermediate. That is why I've used additional language. Otherwise, you're free. If you're writing languages known, you can go for English, Hindi, Punjabi also. But since we have already written it in English and it displays my proficiency in the language, I will not go for English. Fine. Better, I should go for other languages I know. Yes, the mother tongue is Hindi, so I can go for Hindi. And what is the level of proficiency in the Hindi? I can say I'm advanced, somewhere advanced in Hindi. Fine. Similarly, some other state regional languages guy, let's say this guy is from Maharashtra. So let's say Marathi is his native language, and he is also advanced in Marathi. Fine. So this is how you can mention all the additional languages a candidate know, along with the level of proficiency in the language. Now, this section, technical skills, this is what I was talking about when you are going through a job description. And the job description, there could be numerous tools, mentioned in the job descriptions: Python, React, JS, Angular, any other thing. So we are not writing everything over here. We are writing the major crux over here, not the tools. We are not listing. See, I've written front-end development tools. I'm not writing everything, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, anything. I'm not writing it over here. Fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list all those tools here. Okay. So I can write all the softwares over here. Okay. Even like in some of the resume, I have saw people writing Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So you don't write all those tools over here. Fine. Make use of this section, write all those tools which are relevant, again, which are very relevant. Okay. Don't write any other tool like which are not relevant to the job application. Okay. So please write it over here. And the awards recognition, if you have any kind of awards or recognition, suppose you when you're in suppose if somebody is in the job and he was nominated as the best developer or the employee of the month, and such kind of things, you can write in those awards, because you are working as a developer, you have been recognized in your work, so you can mention all of these things in the award section also. But I guess don't write like stand second in an Olympiad, mathematical Olympiad. That is not relevant to the job application, right? So you should also mention the awards, only those which are relevant. I hope it is clear. What about writing certification like with the name on top? In the Sarfraz, do you mean like in this section?
Hi.
Hi,
Not
Sarfraz.
here at the top, like
at the top. Okay, so you see here I have given in the template name and you can say the extras. You can write your current profile which you are working. Okay, maybe working as a developer, or suppose if you're not working or if you don't want to, yes, you can write about your certification, the target you are the role you are targeting. Suppose you are not targeting developer role, you are targeting a management role, then you can write about PMP and other professional degrees you are targeting. Fine, it's totally up to you what you are targeting.
Okay, all right.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, fine. See, I have shared all the resources. See, I will share all the resources, the link of all the resources. I have a folder drawn, and all of these things which I have shown in my presentation today, you can access everything through those links. Fine. Just a second. Through those links to make your resume better, to optimize your resume. For now, there is a kind of your Sunday homework. Everyone is having a Sunday homework. We have done a side-by-side implementation of resume. What you can do is you can go to these any of the templates or any template you are having. Fine. Just try to bring all the contents which we have discussed. We have discussed about writing the expertise, core skills, work experience, education, projects, okay, other relevant information, professional summary, okay, name. So please write everything in that template and try to limit your resume to 1 page. If you're not having that many amount of experience, please try to limit it in 1 page. I'm not forcing you, but still you can leverage the 1.5 or 2 page if you have a huge amount of skill or huge amount of huge amount of experience. Okay, so please make sure about this thing. Okay, as a Sunday homework, take this all of these resources, try to implement it in your resume very carefully. Okay, so before leaving this thing, I just want to make a quick revision that when you are when you're writing the content, what you should have. You should match the language, find the buzzwords, use solid titles, include softwares, take the audit, make use of word cloud there, which I've demonstrated. And then when you're writing your job description, you should use powerful languages. For making powerful languages, use powerful words. The toolkit I have shared, you should include brands, quantification, and detailing. So if you are able to implement all of these things in your resume, I am sure you are going to create an eye-catching standout resume, which will help you with your application. In that case, you will stand out from this data which I have presented, the gray data. Fine. You don't want to be among this data. And to have a standout feature, yes. To have a standout feature, Recording, I guess the team will tell you the recording will be provided or not. Okay, so for standing out from this data to be different from the data, you must follow all of these steps which we have discussed today, right? Yes or no? How many of you will follow all these steps and work on their resume today? Please answer. We have like 12-13 people present in this session. How many of you will use all of these things which we have discussed today and optimize their resume? See what I yes. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Like on LinkedIn, we are having a LinkedIn profile, and just people are, or myself also, just mentioning the name and providing the details of the work virtually we have done in that. So this is the best way, or just to provide the name of the organization where we work? Because I have more than 10 years experience.
I can understand.
So it's not easy to manipulate or change everything because if I will tailor fit my resume for some company,
Correct.
and I will put the words which is required over there only, and I will provide my LinkedIn link over there.
Correct.
And my LinkedIn is normal general, or maybe not specific.
Yes.
So
yes.
this conflict, how we can come over this conflict?
I can understand the dilemma, Sarfraz. The thing is, when I was going through this presentation, I put my focus that your resume should be targeted. Okay, when you're applying for a job, your resume should be targeted. But you can't include everything in your resume. You should not write your life story in resume. So additional information, where the employer will find your additional information? On your social media platform, right? On your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you can take the leverage of your social media platform to write those things on your LinkedIn. I'm not telling you to be very target oriented with your LinkedIn profile. Also, it's very difficult to every day to update your LinkedIn profile as per the target the company you're targeting. Do include, see, if you are going for a particular role, like say developer, must include those content in your resume. If you have those experience, or you have 10 years experience, those must include those things. Fine. So that whenever the employer is going to your LinkedIn profile, he is able to find, yes, this person is working from last 10 years to this role which we are seeking also. Fine. I'm not telling you to include all those technical words into your LinkedIn profile also, but at least include the names, include the profiles there. Fine.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Okay, so when you are onto a resume, what is the best way to see this interaction is not made for LinkedIn profile also, but when you are onto your LinkedIn profile, what you must do, you should check your LinkedIn profile. There is an option LinkedIn is providing. Let's say one of the cases. Let's say this is a LinkedIn profile of any of the student. LinkedIn is providing a option to save your profile as a PDF. So when you're saving your profile as a PDF, okay, you can check how what things you have included in your profile. Okay, you have included your experience of a company here, of another company here. Fine. So you can check this is what an employer will look when he is going through your resume. Fine. Top skills here, but at least the top skills which you are mentioning here, they should match with your resume. Fine. We have listed 6 resumes, so it should be included somewhere here. Getting my point, Sarfraz?
Yeah. So one more question, like
yes,
with the company XYZ company I work,
yeah,
and I need to highlight all 10 points for every company on the LinkedIn, or only for the company name? Because I have seen many kind of profile on the LinkedIn. Someone is explaining full detail about the companies and all those things. Someone is only writing the duration and the company name.
I can understand. See, even in this case, you can see the profile and the duration. That is, people have written, and some people have written the story itself. So in that case also, you can understand that what you can do is you can at least when you're writing HR recruiter or any profile you're writing, mention the skills. Suppose the skills which you have written, mention at least some of the skills and the major task you have performed there. Relate that skill with the major task, at least 1 or 2 tasks in the very short line, not very detailed, in the short lines, so that it can build trust with the reader, the person who is viewing your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, what happens sometimes nowadays, the recruiters are approaching through LinkedIn profile also.
Most of the recruiters will approach you through a LinkedIn profile.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. See, if you see the data, I will really ask you to do some homework. If you look for the stats data, nowadays, almost 50 to 70% employers will reach you through your social media platform. Okay. You are applying for a job through your resume. There are ATS system, there are AI system. They will weed out your applications. So most of your profiles or most of your employers will find you through the social media platforms, or even it's very convenient nowadays for you to reach out to the employers through the social media platform. So please keep your social media platform up to date, more professional. Okay. So that it is easy for the employer. Even you can attach your resume on your LinkedIn or other social media platform. If somebody wants to, they can download your resume and check your resume there. So do work out on your social media platform also, please. But for now, since we have worked really hard for the last 2.5 hours, for last 2.5 hours, what you should do is at present, you should go to your resume, work on the resume on the lines which we have discussed here. And please share that updated resume with me so that I can evaluate your resume. I can give my inputs to you that, yes, you have done wonders with your resume now, or if there any scope of improvement. So today, please work out on the resume on the lines which we discussed in this interaction session. Okay, and share it with me. Soon we will tell you how you can share it, and then we will try to look for the scope of improvement. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining and being very patient to listen and follow these paths.
Thank you, Arpit sir.
Thank you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So students, the kind of session, the kind of input sir has given to you, what I think that if I would have been at your place, I would have to shell out at least 5,000 to 10,000 rupees for getting this guidance from any professional like Arpit sir, for making my resume, for guiding me that what to do about it. It's a golden chance for all of you students. In this CV building, if we talk about, there are a few things which I am listening from sir. And sir, please, Arpit sir, correct me also if I'm wrong at some point. Number one, you should have your own story. That is one of the most important thing. And that story should weave in, and that should be so natural that if anybody asks from you, you can fluently answer the things as per your story. That what you have done, what is your qualification, what are your internships, what are the certifications you have done, and on the same, what the work you are doing. So a whole story should be there, as sir was telling us. Then different CVs for the different job profiles that you should provide. Look at different job profiles and make your CV according to it. Reason, every job profile is having some different requirements. And then I want to know it from Arpit sir. Arpit sir, some student was having a question that different LinkedIn profile should be there for different companies.
No, sir, absolutely not. Because this will create a kind of a falsification in the minds of the employer that this guy must be cheating or must not be very honest with his kind of a profile. So LinkedIn could be generalized.
LinkedIn could be generalized, but added with the whatever the heavy words you have said it to include it.
Yes, sir.
Whatever I would say the basic work what we are doing, that all should be included in our job profile, that LinkedIn profile also.
Exactly, sir, exactly.
And as well the GitHub or any other profile.
Yes, sir. Portfolio building is very important nowadays, sir. Even if the employer is looking at your LinkedIn profile, he's interested to know what projects you have done. Yes. And how can you showcase your projects? By making some portfolios, right? So portfolio is a must. People, the programmers which we have in today's session also, they must develop their portfolio to showcase their projects. And one of the best platform to show the portfolio is GitHub nowadays.
Very right. And on the same, students, one more thing, getting it from Arpit's book, that right now try to include the things which are very much essential. Make a basic resume, share it with Arpit sir. He will be able to guide you that what corrections are needed, if any. Maybe you are able to do it through it. That will be very, very nice. One more question. One of the student was asking that about the recording. Yes, we are having the recording of this session and we will be sharing it with you people also shortly. So don't worry about that. You can go through this all session again and again. And so that whatever Arpit sir has told us, so you can again revise that and make accordingly changes into your CV. Any other questions, students, you want to ask? Please tell us. Any question, anything comes to your mind.
Ajay sir, they are asking for the email ID where they should share their updated resume.
I think in that case, right now, let me ask.
Sir, they can mail on placements@lponline.com.
Yeah, right.
Let
Ma'am,
me just mention
you
the
just
email
please,
ID in the
yeah,
chat.
please share the
Yeah,
mail
I'll do
ID.
that. Just a second.
Right? Any other question you are having, students?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So, sir, right now we are pursuing MCA in a second semester. So, I want to just know the placement procedure for online programmers.
In this case, what's your good name, sir?
Akash.
Akash. Akash, right now you are in. You have, I think, given examination of your second semester.
Right.
Right. So in the third semester on, now we are providing you this CV building, and then once your CV is through, we will be floating your CVs to the companies also. One part, another part, to make you job ready, we will be conducting soft skill as well as some verbal skill sessions for you also.
Okay.
Right, and then we will be giving you the all the openings what are coming to us. We will be sharing it with you people, and you can have your resumes ready for the placement. And then we will try to have all these interviews lined up in the online mode, because nowadays,
okay.
after COVID, most of the companies are ready to take interviews online. So we will be going with the same also.
So, is the current experience would be considered or not? So, suppose that right now.
Yeah, that is your plus point, Akash.
Okay.
That is in fact very right now. On which job profile you are working, Akash?
So, I am working as a business analyst, and we
Okay.
work on a like a data analyst also. So, we work some data analyst parts also, like Power BI, SQL, and advanced Excel things. So,
In which
Data
company?
visualization.
In which company you are working, Akash?
in FIS Global, it's located in Gurgaon, basically.
Good. And if you don't mind, what is the approximate CTC you are getting?
8 or 9 between. So
8 to 9. Okay, good enough. And what you are looking for?
I'm looking for a data science job in a company which near about 40 to 50% hike. So,
Good enough.
Akash, I would like to ask a question to you. I think you have previously shared your resume with us, right?
sorry.
You have previously also shared your resume with us.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
In the beginning of the first semester.
So do you think your resume which you have shared was up to this level which we are talking here also?
No, so I need to just edit something in my resume.
Minute editing may be required, right?
Yeah.
This is my sincere request to everyone, every participants, that I know you have previously shared your resume with us, but please work on your resume in this on this lines which we have discussed today, so that it will be more effective and easier for us to communicate those things to the employers, and then they will screen your resume to get back to you.
Sure.
In this one, Akash, I would like to add one thing what Arpit sir was saying. For a job profile like you, what you are looking for, the data scientist, and right now you are working as a business analyst, as you would be having a good experience also. You are in a high demand, frankly speaking.
Yes.
And what the money also you are looking out, I don't think any reason that you cannot have the good package also. Maybe you are asking for 30 to 40%. I'm not committing that what you are going to get. There are companies who are looking out for the good persons like you.
Okay.
Right. And as and when the companies will be approaching to us, we will be sharing with your resume. But one thing is that sure, by looking at the job scenario, the person like you are highly sought.
Okay.
Right. So I think if you are gone with this workshop in a sincere way and you change minute changes as sir was suggesting, nobody can stop you getting the good job on the basis of these one.
Yes, sir. So
And
I
we
will
will-
edit my resume as per the sir
Yeah,
guidance.
yeah. And on the same, now I would like to say one more thing. Now we will be behind you students, that because we want that our students should be get better job opportunities. So please be cooperate with us also. Now we will be taking your Sundays or the Saturdays also for all these professional enhancement classes related to soft skills, verbal skills, as well as analytical skills also. And as you people are MCA students are starting their third semester. Now, like I will start it from Akash. Akash, what the
Yes, sir.
specialization you have opted? Data science or web
No.
development?
I opted for data science.
Data science. Now, what the here I would like to add one more thing again, that just as Akash experiences of business analyst, and on the same he is pursuing a MCA data science, right? And on the same he is looking out as a data analyst role only. So this is a whole story what Akash can tell. कि मैंने क्या किया, अभी मैं क्या कोर्स कर रहा हूं, क्या वैल्यू एडिशन मुझे उससे मिल रहे हैं, क्या सीख रहा हूं मैं वहां पर, और मैं आगे आने वाली जॉब के लिए उसको कैसे अप्लाई कर सकता हूं. So each and everything in the case of Akash, it looks like in the sync, a story of data analyst. So these kind of things should be taken care. Thank you, Akash. Any
Thank
other
you, sir.
student having any query? Yeah, students? I think all queries are sorted out.
Yes, sir. I think they have learned the rules of this game.
Good.
Now they will be better than anyone
Good,
else.
good. So with this note, we have taken a lot of time of Arpit sir as well as my dear students also. So in a vote of thanks ceremony, I would like to thank Arpit sir for giving his valuable inputs. I would say not valuable, most valuable inputs to the students that will help them. And on the same to my seniors in Center for Distance and Online Education, our Senior Director, Gini Nijaman ma'am, Manish sir, our Associate Director, Dr. Kulvinder Pal, our Deputy Director, Neha ma'am, and all my colleagues, Arpit sir and all faculty members, just to help us through all these ventures. And we are trying to help our students to be better placed, better knowledgeable persons in this highly competitive world. And in the last, I would like to thank dear students that you are having a very good patience that on Sundays also you are sparing your time. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We will be conducting these kind of sessions frequently for you people now to make you job ready. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Arpit sir.